Oh yeah, take that. Get over here, come on. Who's next? Oh, you fucking want some too? Let's go then, bitch. Oh, you want some more? That's right. Stay down, motherfucker. Whew, these fucking marauders are everywhere out here, man. I need to get out of this hibernation suit. Might have to just wear one of these marauder outfits for now. It's not the best outfit, but it sure beats wearing that hibernation suit that I've been wearing for like 70 years. My God, look at this sky. It's gorgeous out here. Wow. Absolutely stunning. Can't wait for the rest of my colony to see this. Alright, there's Edgewater. Let's see if we can find someone to talk to about getting a power regulator, fixing my new ship. What is this, a cemetery? Who puts a graveyard at their front gates?
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Running around in a marauder's attire. You're liable to give some people the wrong idea.
Oh yeah? How do you know I'm not a marauder?
You talk too pretty for a marauder. Most of them just grunt and yell. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Silas. My name's Dirtmouth. I'm just a drifter here, really. My ship went down not far from here, and I was forced to make an emergency landing, so now I'm in need of a power regulator to get it flying again. You wouldn't happen to know anyone I could talk to about procuring such an item, would you?
Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road.
Alright. Thanks for your help, Silas. Nice to meet you. Seems like pretty nice people around here so far. Except I think he called himself a junior in humor. That's a fancy way of saying gravedigger. So this is Edgewater. Nice quaint little town. Hello. Alright. Reed Thompson is who I'm looking for. I think this is the place right here. Hello? Guess I'll just let myself up. Oh, nice. Got some banging elevator music.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Oh, don't worry about that. I was told I need to talk to Reed. Is that you?
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I must say, wearing a marauder's outfit is in very poor taste. I do wish you'd show your uniform a little more respect.
Oh, I actually don't have a uniform. Sorry, I'm not from here. I'm just passing through.
Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Oh, that's alright. I'm actually here just to repair my ship. You see, my main drive had a malfunction of sorts, so now I found myself in need of a power regulator to get it running again. I was told you're the guy to talk to.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the Botanical District over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
Alright, that sounds easy enough, I guess. Is there some sort of catch here? Like, anything I need to know about this geothermal plant before I just go waltzing in there?
The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice. Lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste.
Right. And you want to take that wasted power and redirect it to your cannery. That makes sense. I got you.
We could use the power. Cannery's been struggling. If we don't ramp up productivity, the company might cut us loose.
Yeah, well, we don't want that. And if nobody's using that power, then no harm, no foul, right?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
Oh, I get it. You're talking about marauders, right? Look, don't even worry about them. They're savages. They're not even really people.
The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
Okay, this just got a little complicated. Look, I'll divert the power because I need that regulator, but I can't promise you that these deserters will come back.
Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith for so politely listening to me as I ramble on.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you.
Yeah, sure. I could use the company.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Hey, that's business, right? Alright, well, let's get going. Parvati, is it? So... you like this song? No? Alright. Listen up, Parvati. Stay behind me at all times, okay? You're to be my guide on this trip, and that's it. There's marauders all over out here, and the last thing I need is your blood on my hands.
I smell blood!
Shit! Marauders! Stay down, Parvati. Stay behind me. I'll take care of these guys. Holy fuck! That was badass, Parvati. I take back what I said. You can obviously handle your own.
You're hurt!
Oh, don't worry about me. Man, you really handled yourself back there, Parvati. I'm impressed. Okay, you said left to the geothermal plant and right to the botanical labs. So let's head to the botanical labs first. And, let's see if we can convince these deserters to return back to Edgewater. Okay, we're looking for a girl named Adelaide, and this definitely looks like the place. Excuse me, miss. Can we chat?
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
Yeah, I'm actually looking for someone named Adelaide, and I'm guessing you're her.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... you got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
No thank you. I'm actually here on behalf of Reed. He sent me to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Well, here's the deal. Your power is about to be diverted to Edgewater. Okay, now Mr. Thompson thinks it'd be wise for you and your settlement to pack up and head back to town. And, yeah, that's about it.
Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Listen, Adelaide, this is serious, alright? I'm about to cut off your power, okay? You'll all die out here without power. Think about your settlement.
You're doing this for Reed? Why?
Look, it's nothing personal. These botanical labs have a power regulator that I need to fix my ship. That's really all it is.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Oh, really? A hero would shut off an entire city's power to help some deserters? Look, I suggest you and your people head back to town. Let's go, Pravati. Well, I tried to talk some sense into her, so hopefully she listens. Okay, here's the geothermal plant. Let's head inside and divert this power over to Edgewater. Well, this looks like the place.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
Listen, Pravati, I know, okay? I'm not cutting off Edgewater's power. I don't care what Adelaide said. I mean, according to Reed, if these deserters don't go back to Edgewater, the town might not even make it.
That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
I couldn't agree more, Pravati. It's not pretty, but we gotta try to do what's in the best interest for everybody. There. It's done. There's no going back now. Alright. Let's head back to the botanical labs and get that power regulator. Alright, look, Pravati. I can't have the deaths of these deserters on my conscience. We gotta try one last time to convince them to return to Edgewater. Hopefully they hear us out and understand. You know, sometimes the best decision isn't always the easy decision.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
Oh, come on. You're being completely unreasonable right now. Just think about this for a second, okay? If you don't return to Edgewater, not only will you and your settlement die out here without power, but without your help, Edgewater is likely to die as well.
As long as Reed is still in Edgewater, I will not return. Those are my terms.
I don't get it. Reed seems like he's doing his best for Edgewater. I mean, he's been more than reasonable in this whole situation. I mean, what is your problem with Reed Thompson?
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
Okay, well, Reed seems to really care about Edgewater. I'm sure he'll step down if it meant saving his town. He'll just need a little, convincing.
Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients. I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town. Those are my terms.
Alright, it's worth a shot. Come on, Pravati, let's head back to Edgewater and try to convince Reed to step down. Hopefully he listens. God, I fucking love this song, dude. Just a banger. Seriously, what a bop. Alright, Reed, I'm back.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
Well, Reed, the thing is, as long as you're here, Adelaide's not coming back.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town.
Right. Well, Adelaide tells me that when her son got the plague, you had the medicine to help him, and you chose not to. Anything to say about that?
Her son got sick with plague a couple years back. Company never gave us enough medication to treat the whole town. So I had to choose, you see. Adelaide's child or someone else's. She's never forgiven me. I don't expect she ever will.
Tell me, Mr. Thompson, what qualifies you to decide whose child deserves to live and whose child deserves to die? I mean, if you ask me, that is not your decision to make.
But I did. I made the decision. I am responsible for it. And I must shoulder the burden. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Okay, well, what if I told you Adelaide has found a way to cure the plague? What if I told you none of her people are getting sick?
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
Well, believe it, Reed, because it's true, alright? Adelaide found a way to grow her own food. They're eating vegetables, and this new diet, it seems to be working, because not one of them has the plague.
I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse. You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a botanist. Look, Reed, all you really need to know is that it involves some complicated math, and whatever it is, it's working. I mean, what more do you need to
If
hear?
Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
I'm sorry things had to be this way, Reed. Good luck, man.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
Yeah, you may change your tune as soon as you hear what I gotta say. I convinced Reed to step down and leave. Edgewater's yours.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may.
Finally, a power regulator. Well, here she is. I guess this is where we part ways, Parvati.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. That place kind of sucked. I can understand you not wanting to go back there. You didn't seem very happy in Edgewater.
Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
Are you kidding me? I'd love to have you. You can handle yourself in a fight. I mean, you probably know more about this ship than I do. Of course you can come along. Just pick a cabin. It's yours.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Alright, well then, all aboard. Next stop, the stars.